Crown. Now, they are still working at the company. They're actually working on the new Rayman. So, The Lost Crown didn't do too well, even though people said it was really good. And I think that is a common thing that's happening in gaming where there are just so many games. Your game can be good, but if it's not unique, it's not like... So, David Jaffe did a video on this yesterday. It was excellent. There's this game called Bzzzt, B-Z-Z-Z-T or something like that. And he was looking at it like, this looks like a competent game. It plays very well. It has high reviews. No one's buying it. And it's because it looks sort of generic. You know, it looks like just a pixel art game. It doesn't have its own identity. And even the gameplay in it was just kind of like space shooter and like Super Meat Boy platforming. And even Steven at Midnight Hatters brought this up to me when we were working on a game. And it's like, there's things that we like that then we can make. But, you know, if something's already been done before a whole lot, sometimes people are like, yeah, that's probably good. But it's not as enticing as something new and different. And David Jaffe made this funny... I forget what he called it. It was like the guy should call the game George Washington's blah, blah, blah. Just something random, crazy, you know. And that's the other thing with this game is it's called Bzzzt, B-Z-Z-Z-T. So how easy is that to remember the name, to find it, you know, to talk to other people about it? I think there's a lot of things where it's like, yes, you can make an awesome game. But what do you have going on with it to make that what people pick up? And that's exactly what happened with the Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. No one was asking for a Prince of Persia Metroidvania. I mean, that's a cool idea. Prince of Persia is not based on that, you know? And even this Metroidvania, they made it where it's more of a platform-heavy game. It's more about platforming than it really is about the combat. And I was like, well, you know, that's what Prince of Persia is known for. I mean, why then make it a Metroidvania? And again, that's what it's doing. It's taking these things that people like and then saying, here, see? But it's like, yeah, we know, we like that. We've already seen it, so we're going to move on. So Prince of Persia just didn't sell well, even though it got good reviews. And I think, you know, another part of it, too, is the graphics. You know, It was lower budget of a game, and so the graphics just aren't anything that stick out. Again, the graphics look kind of samey, even with like the way they do the graphics, where it's lower polygonal count. You know, just in order for it to, you know, to have that lower budget. But then there's a lot of detail in the art direction, so then there's a lot of noise, and so sometimes it's really hard to get really definitive visual identity. I think there's a lot of little things that aren't bad on their own, but together, I think, because I played Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, and that was my first thought too. It was like, yeah, this is cool. I've done this, and so I just moved on. But yeah, I guess the rumor was like, I guess they say disbanded, but then people were complaining, oh, they let go a team. It's like, no, they didn't let them go. They're actually now working on the new Rayman game, Project Steambot. So that's pretty cool. And then here's a rumor: PS5, PS5 Pro versions in development for Fable, Gears, E-Day, Perfect Dark, Avowed, Blade, Halo. You know, I'm all about games being on other platforms. I think the more platforms a game is on, the more chances it is to be archivable. You know, a lot of these games, if they're digital but only on one platform, that's going to be harder for people to emulate in the future. But having these games made on multiple platforms gives opportunity in the future for us to easily have, you know, these games available to us once they're removed and not digital anymore or shut down. Also, as primarily a PC gamer, I'm also just kind of used to that anyway. When a game comes out, I just buy it on PC because I know that in 5 years, when I buy a new video card, I'm still going to be using my Steam account. In 5+ years is how often I even buy a video card. The other thing too with all these gaming handhelds, it's awesome that I could play a game on my PC, play it on a gaming handheld, another PC. So future games being released on all platforms makes sense. It's just, I think the differentiator here is what they're going to be able to provide. Xbox provides a Game Pass service that can be done anywhere, that doesn't require a PC. And Sony offers a high-end system, I guess. I don't know. Like, I think there's a cult of, there's a cult with PlayStation, kind of like with Apple, where it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the hardware is, but I know people then invest and they bought that. And so then that's, it's interesting times as things are changing. Okay, let me check if this file, wow. It is like right at the end and has not even yet finished. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll just keep it going. All right. Okay, this is interesting. Vicarious Visions, who you might know, they were at Activision. They worked on some Tony Hawk stuff, did a lot of porting. They were working on a Donkey Kong game, actually, called Donkey Kong Country Freedom. Or just Donkey Kong Freedom. Okay, Donkey Kong Country Freedom. Sound a little more exciting. So yeah, Donkey Kong Freedom, very interesting. Concept art there, because it's interesting how Nintendo sometimes lets other developers work on their games, and I feel like there's that Nintendo. I don't know how you explain it. Like, Metroid Dread was done by a different developer, Spanish developer, and to be honest, Metroid Dread was not up to Nintendo's standard of quality for me, but people loved that game anyway, and it's like, yeah, that was the most boring Metroid game I have ever played. It had no personality to it. It's just you're moving through different things and having to go back and forth. I beat that earlier this year. I've kind of forced myself just because I'm a big Metroid fan. And yeah, very little personality to it. And, I hate to say this stuff, but really, and we've heard these reports where Nintendo likes to contract out games being made for them, and they can pay little because, of course, a developer is going to want to say that they made a game on a Nintendo platform. So that's probably what was happening with Vicarious Visions, because they were like that for Activision. They were the one that was porting games to Game Boy Color, to Xbox when they were made on PlayStation. Like, those types of developers usually get paid less. So I think this is just proof that, Nintendo tends to, with certain IPs, like, have like low budgets, for other developers to make the games. I don't know. I don't think Nintendo should be doing that with all the money they're making. Let's see. What was this other thing? NCSoft suffers layoffs and cancels projects, including ultra-realistic thriller Project M. I just heard about this, but I want to read it because I didn't know if there is a game that they may have canceled. Oh wow! So this is so I was looking if there's anything of note that was canceled, and it doesn't really seem like it. But it's interesting to see that a Heavy Rain type, or Detroit Become Human. So basically, a game that's focused on all ultra realistic graphics, but just narrative and not really gameplay. Oh, here's some of that Arkham Shadows. Here, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll pull up a video. That someone else has said. I just want to kind of show mine, and it's still uploading. Let's see. So anyway, interesting. The fourth subsidiary, known as NCAI, will set its focus on AI technology development and business expansion. Okay, well, interesting stuff there. Here's another one. Super Smash Bros. Creator teases a new unannounced game. Masahiro Sakurai said that the production started in 2022, but hasn't revealed much detail yet. So that's interesting. The creator of Super Smash Bros. Games announced the wrap-up of his YouTube channel and revealed that a new unannounced game has been in production since April 2022. In the video, the developer covered the history of his channel and talked about his career. He shared that in July 2021, when he worked on the DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, he received or shared any other details yet. It remains unclear whether the new game will add to the Super Smash Bros. Series or be a standalone title. Developer started his YouTube channel, in 2022, and has shared I've talked about his channel before. It's probably a good resource for people in game development. So what would it be? Would it be a completely new game, or is he making a Smash Brothers for Switch 2? I don't know. Just because I don't know what Nintendo's thoughts are with, they have that new multiplayer online game that they that's been leaked, actually. Like, the whole soundtrack has been leaked. There's a lot to it that's been leaked. Who knows if it's related to that? I mean, there's a different developer that is on that one, and that might be a Switch 2 reveal, which would be interesting. So basically what I'm saying is, with that multiplayer Nintendo online game, is Nintendo changing their initiative with online play? Would that mean there would be a newer type of Smash Brothers made that would leverage that? Or is this just a whole new game in general? It would be interesting to see, for sure. Okay. So, I want to talk about the Batman VR. Let me bring up some gameplay, just because mine still hasn't uploaded yet, and that's my bad. I waited till at 7:58 to do that. Let's see. Let me get to where I was, so I can kind of show you guys. There's the screen share. Let me move this a bit. Let's see. Okay, so this Batman VR game just came out, and what's interesting about it is I could compare it to Half-Life Alyx. Let me move forward. It looks like there's areas that I already missed. I want to get to the combat scene. Oh, I think it's here. So it's similar to Half-Life Alyx, in which you have full freedom of movement. You look around. Like, if I had a gigantic warehouse I was in, I could play the whole game running around. And so, I'm gonna change the settings the way he has it, because I have it where the UI, where you punch, it's big, bright, and yellow, and I would rather not see it as much. So as you're walking through this, like Batman, and you're grabbing switches to open doors, you're also, let me fast forward. Let me go back just a little bit. I think dogs are getting worked up on something. Anyway, yeah, you use your grapnel to get to the top. This is just like the Arkham games, if you remember. And then, yeah, glide kick, and then now it's all about the combat. So as you're fighting, you are using your hands to punch, and sometimes it's like a little mini game, but I think that's not the best thing to say. It's more of like I'll have an arrow of where to punch, or just then you do like a bunch of punches. Oh, I've never done that where I pulled the batarang, and because you can do it at any time, you can pull the batarang and throw it. I haven't done it within combat, but also you could see where the blue kind of lightning look, or it's that countering look that you would see in the Arkham games. Let me go back just a little bit. Where then, yeah, when someone is about to punch me, I can move up my arm to block it. You don't have to make a fist. It's just like you make a fist to do the punch, but you move your arm out to block attacks. And so it feels like I think they really pulled off the Arkham game in VR. I am shocked that they pulled it off, because it was so fun. I didn't want to stop playing last night. And as I did other combat scenarios, and let me see if I can move it. And there's other like little puzzle segments, like you could see here, where you like throw your batarang and then you wait so you can move and do your thing. Yeah, Yeah, you just come across another encounter of enemies. Oh, I haven't done that slide kick. I need to do that. I think this person's already played and maybe unlocked some stuff. Because, yeah, he's doing this quick. Yeah, look at that. This is great. I can't wait to play it some more. You know, VR could be hit or miss, I think. This is a $50 game, whereas like that Gundam Phantom, Silver Phantom was 15. To me, that Gundam game was worth the $15. Any more than that, and it would be a little iffy. This is $50, but the degree at which you can play the game is worth the $50. I mean, this is, yeah, so you have your detective vision still. You go up and you click like the side of your head to turn on detective vision. That way you could see the puzzles in the room. You could figure out how to get around things. And there's platforming sections like here. Yeah, you hit the switch. I didn't even use my detective vision because it kind of just shows it. Use the grapnel to get up there. This part was weird for me for some reason because, like, there's this cop that was pointing at the bad guy, and oh, I guess he's kind of like, but it's like you take down the cop, which I thought was weird. I would think Batman would just say, "Hey, you could lower your gun," but you actually, it's kind of weird. You actually have to fight the cop. Is he gonna do it? I guess they want to do the whole dialogue scene. And it starts off where the Rat King is like the main villain, and so yeah, I thought that was really weird that you're just beating down a cop and then beating down this guy. Like none of that didn't make sense to me in terms of like what I would choose to do as Batman. Like maybe one thing I would throw my batarang at the guy's gun and be like, "Get back to your station," and then I don't know. That was a little weird. That was a little weird. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, there's ducking, ducking around. You press the button to open your map, so you have a map. I mean, it plays exactly like an Arkham game, but VR. They pulled it off. Well, hey, Chris. Hey, Rogue New Type. Good to see you guys. So yeah, I was hoping to show my gameplay. It's still, although it was pretty much better than what we saw right now was better than mine, to be honest. So I recommend it 100%. I recommend the Batman Arkham Shadow game if you have access to the VR, because it is what that original Batman VR game, what I was hoping I would get out of it. This full 3D movement. Oh, there's another cool thing. If there's long chasms you have to get over, you grip like you would be gripping your cape, and you raise your arms and you go gliding over pits and stuff. They have the whole thing. You really are pulling off Batman stuff. All right, we're gonna look at some news. Rayman remake development bolstered by former Prince of Persia team. Switch Online subscribers can play three games for free for the next week. That was hard to say. Curse to Golf, which I think it came out like a year ago or something, and until okay, so it's interesting that they're doing this. Anyway, I've heard it's interesting because I heard good stuff about it, but then I just heard it's a grind. It just sounds pretty neat, Curse to Golf, and then these other things. I don't know about that. What's some other stuff? How Baldur's Gate 3 Monopoly Go or driving Hasbro's all-in digital strategy? Well, I mean, they did good with those IPs, so let's see. Anything else going on? Bungie creative team moves to PlayStation to support its live service games. What live service games does PlayStation have? unless it's to support Concord being released as free to play. I don't know. Black Ops 6 pay to hear scandal explained. I guess it's not too big of a deal. I guess there's this like high-end audio technology that to use it you have to pay. It's not like Microsoft is charging or Black Ops is charging. A bunch of different games, different studios, when they offer this, it's like you pay to use this technology. It reminds me of, I don't know if it still happens, but there's like the Dolby Atmos or something. There's this certain thing that you actually pay for to sort of get like superior audio that makes it sound like, you know, the people are around you. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, I guess it's not like Call of Duty is just charging for it. Helldivers 2 Marathon. Oh yeah, Marathon. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with that. Well, that's the thing. Bungie moving to PlayStation, but Bungie was doing Destiny Marathon already, so it's like Helldivers 2, but that was already successful without a Bungie. That's why I'm like, there's probably something else going on, or they're just, if that really means they're moving people from Bungie just onto these teams and not like something new or different, that's just another disappointing reality with where this live service thing went. I mean, just think of Bungie. They were with Microsoft, with Halo, and then those people left, made Destiny with Activision, and I don't know why, but then Activision didn't want it anymore, and then that went to PlayStation, and then most of the original creative leads at Bungie aren't even there anymore. It's kind of sad how that works. But that's actually with most of these big companies that have been around for a while, the creative leads are no longer there. And that has always been the driving force of what's been making those things successful, is the creative leads. Whoa, Godzilla Voxel Wars. Okay, let's look at this. This first launch, what? It's already out? What the? Look at this. Okay, get ready to battle using your brain. A full-fledged turn-based strategy game with difficulty level Godzilla. How did I never hear of this? Okay, I'm adding this to my wish list. And it's only $15. This might be something I show off on stream sometime. This is great. How did I not hear this? Ultronimus, I don't think you're in this chat, but you gotta let me know if you played this. This looks great. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out later. Too bad there's no demo. I love the demo thing. Well, anyway, that's about it. That's about it for today's show. I guess the main thing is, you know, that Prince of Persia Lost Crown didn't sell well, but that team is now working on a new Rayman, so that's cool. What are some other things that were interesting? Oh yeah, the Arkham, Batman Arkham Shadows VR worth $50. That it feels like it's a full-on game. It's pretty awesome. And then Godzilla Voxel Wars. What the heck? I hope it goes on sale soon, considering it's going to hit a year on the 31st, and it's going to be released on Switch too, so that might be a way to get people to jump in it or buy it if they haven't yet. So, all right, guys, well, have a good rest of the day, and yeah, we'll talk later. See y'all.